Hello, good morning, everyone. Crazy night here last night. We had a big wind and the trailer was shaking, and it was kind of beautiful, but it just shows how powerful Mother Nature is. So if people don't notice it, I channel a little bit when I'm doing these lives. I speak about higher truth and other things, and I'm opening myself and choosing to be open to give more higher truths all the time. I'm getting to experience them in my own life, my own experience, my own struggle is all I can call some of it. It's not fun or playful or feels like a game. It feels like life, and that can be hard sometimes. I really feel it's tempered me. Tempered as like steel that's tested in fire to make it stronger, to bring awareness to where the weaknesses are in belief in how I'm living my life, etc. And what really became clear last night is I'm being given the space to really find myself. This time of pulling away my human 3D story, experience, belief, things like family, and parents and sisters and brothers of mine, and how those interactions are going, then going deeper, and my life as a man, who I am, what I do, how I hold myself in this world is being tested all the time. What's important to me, and things like integrity, honesty, truth, trust, respect of other people is all becoming really, really, really important to me. I read something, I think it was from Ryan Matthews yesterday, and it's like, integrity isn't for you to tell me I've got it or whatever. Integrity is a test of me as a being and how I interact with everyone, not out of lack or anger or frustration, but in integrity. So when I have emotions, and you guys see it here, I have strong emotions, but it's not projected. It's not like I'm trying to be a victim or whatever. Sometimes there's that programming there, but the integrity is to stand with it and say, okay, this is me. This is real. I'm feeling it. I'm not going to ignore it. I don't have to bypass it or whatever, but I'm going to be really firm about it. I had a beautiful conversation with my brother yesterday, and he was quite surprised I have anger. And he said, well, I'm a soft warrior, him being. And I said, well, without our anger and without our rage and without our dark side being part of ourselves and being in integrity of how we conduct ourselves and how accountable we are, in my past, I felt like a piece of me was in a cage. That rage, that anger, that frustration needs to come to the forefront right now. And I'm not talking about having war with people and fighting people. I'm talking about just being really honest about how fucked up things feel, and how logic does not reign anymore, and to be able to stand for it in a controlled, divine way, whatever for you feels best. But to sit here and frickin' battle and fight and create wars and all these things that is typical in this world is no longer our way as men, as women either. What we need to feel is every emotion that we have, every bit of trauma that's in our body. If you got sore spots in your back and your pelvis and your hips, in sciatica, all these kind of things, these are all parts of ourselves that are at war with ourselves and angry and frustrated about some past experience. It's our trauma. And we're just being asked to look at them, sit in a soft place. I've been given this place where I'm in a container, kind of all by myself right now, but it makes it really easy to percolate. And percolate is kind of like bubbling. It's kind of like finding myself. Okay, what's underneath? What drives me to decisions? What drives my actions? What makes me forget myself sometimes, give my power away? That can be things like being a father. being, owning a business. All these things have slowly been kind of stripped away from me so that I can finally see the real me. And underneath that real me, I'm starting to realize that a lot of my decisions weren't from my pleasure, my fun, my excitement of self. A lot of my decisions were of obligation. And when you're in obligation and you've lived in a 3D reality for a long time, that obligation, the only way out of these things and being a good father and being all these things is to kind of become a slave to money. And it's like, I got to get a job and I got to do this and I got to have a house and I got to pay taxes and I got to pay my bills. And you start to see underneath all this, I was never really in choice at all. I did things from having to meet the expectations of my children and what a good father is and being a good man and being successful. And all of those things kind of fall apart in my hands. I'm going to conjecture that my children and having them and knowing they're safe and all this kind of stuff is really important and that they are my children and that I still love them. But in this time of me testing myself, I needed a little bit of distance because that love, that want, desire, whatever for your kids and to make them better and to fix them and help them and all this kind of stuff, it just confused the hell out of me. We live through our kids. We don't realize that, but a lot of that happens. So now I'm looking at it and saying, okay, what are the decisions for me? Because the best parent I'm going to be is by being happy, by healing myself, by moving into my purpose, by getting in my passion, by all those things. And I can't put my kids in front of it. But we do. We're taught that right from birth almost. So now I'm sitting with that. Now I'm free to see myself. Okay, what are my decisions? What's guiding me? What brings up anxiety? What brings up that bubbling, that tightness in my chest? What feels not good in my hips or other things? And then I just keep looking at it. And it's like, okay, well, no, I had to have a house. Oh, I had to make money. I had to earn. And in this new path that we're going on, those aren't the same things. And I don't expect people that are really grounded in 3D and find safety from it to really understand that. I know my mom and dad don't, and they're scared for me and all these things, but they're living outside themselves. They want their son to be happy. They want their son to be safe, where I'm on a different path that nobody's ever done before. But do you really want to stay on this path of heaviness, this path of chasing, this path of not doing anything for yourself specifically, just busy and distracted from really seeing what's inside? So this place and this time has given me that inward look and that reflection. And I thought it was hell for a while, and now I'm seeing it in a calm way. I'm starting to see what's within me and what needs to shift and what needs to change. And by doing that, a new integrity comes in, and that new integrity becomes right at my core, at my center. And it's like, I want these things because they make me better. And by me being better, all around me improve. It's all within. It has nothing to do with outside things like having a house for the kids or these kind of things. It has everything to do with building that house inside of myself, building that safety, building that comfort, knowing that I'm the creator of all those things and it's not outside me and I don't have to chase it and I don't have to find a job and prove somebody I'm worthy and all that stuff. It's all about here. And then I get really calm inside. And when I get calm inside, I start saying mantras and speaking positively to myself. It's like, I am abundant. I am creating. I am loving. I am a sexual person. I am a sensual person. I am a loving person. All these things that didn't work out in my past were just programmed by me. So I'm seeing that, and I'm getting to reset my needle. My needle was all too much happy or too much negative, and I just oscillate. So right now I'm just really calm, and I'm feeling empty of needs, desires, of other things. And now I can really feel something different. It's just like this present. I can feel channeling come in, like words that aren't even mine, higher knowledge that's above. It just comes right out through my mouth. I can't even remember sometimes what I say in these lives because I'm a vessel of service to a higher power, my higher self, the part that knows everything, been around thousands and thousands of lives. And I'm here and I'm ready to shine that to those around me. So Maybe this feels right for you too, is that you're shifting into this new path of service. You're shifting into finding out what really drives you inside rather than chasing what we've been programmed to say is important. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in this time, in this self-exploration of having a lot of stuff taken away from me, those things aren't important. They're not. This feels so much better and so much calmer when I don't have to chase every day. What I'm going to make for lunch? What am I going to feed the kids? How am I going to get them to soccer? How am I going to... And in the end, you're just like your life was stolen from you because you had to do all these things. Now I'm looking inside. Now I'm seeing inside. Now I'm knowing me. And I'll reflect that for others so that others can say, okay, well, yeah, I'm feeling that same way. And I really need to know me. And it's okay to be selfish in this way because we're taught our whole life not to be selfish so that nobody else feels uncomfortable. But you never get to choose you when you're not selfish. So selfish can be just choosing to choose me. It sets a good boundary, sets a whatever. Or selfish can be, oh, you're an asshole, blah, 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 and telling people and being really... I'm not talking that kind of selfish. I'm talking about choose you every single time. And then this softness comes, and then a possibility enters, and then the magic begins. So this is a time. Okay, last thing I wanted to talk about. If we look at what's going on in the world with the V and the C that needs it, we'll start to understand that it's crushing us. It's forcing us to be so hyper isolated from our families, our friends, our children, jobs, etc. It is like the perfect storm. It's horrifically perfect to force us and squeeze us and squash us until we make new choices for ourselves. And that's why it exists. It may seem dark, it may seem evil, it may seem like there's a lot of negative, but if you look underneath it, there's so much beauty in how perfect it is to crush us and to get us to choose. And I just hope that people could maybe look at that and not, you don't have to love it, but you have to give it the gratitude of the effect that this really painful darkness has given to us. And once we understand that we're part of dark and light and that we need that crushing right now, we need that to awaken. We need to be like the squeeze of the toothpaste, right? It's just like squish you and you're going to awaken. You're going to go up the top of the tube through this thing that's happening that feels so bad and so evil, makes hard for us and other things, but it's got a purpose. And if we just trust the purpose and that things are awakening because of it, it calms you. And then you can get back to that self-exploration, see the gritty shit that's coming up. And I want you to, every time you feel a fear in your heart or your body starts to contract or you're not sure about yourself or whatever, dive into it. Dive into it. Go to the depth of it. Go till your whole body is just like, I don't know what to do. And then breathe and sit with it and show yourself that you're not going to die. Because I guarantee you're not going to die. That thing wants you to think you're going to die. It wants to squeeze you and crush you and force you to cry mama or whatever. Just go in and breathe and feel it. Feel it. All you need to do is feel for about 90 seconds of that emotion, cry, scream, whatever, or just allow it to pass through you. If it doesn't feel like it's yours, transmute it, and you're going to be free from that thing. This is a time of letting all those things show up so you can be present with them so they can pass through. Does that change how those feelings are? The minute you go through it and you felt it and you've really dealt with it, if it comes back, guess what? You didn't go deep enough. But if it is clear and next time you look at it and there's no charge left, guess what? You just cleared a trauma in your body. And you're going to be free from that. You've lived with that for dozens of years, maybe 40 or 50, and it had control. Don't give it control anymore. That's the key of finding yourself. What's driving you underneath? Is there a fear? Is there a, I'm going to die. I'm going to not have a job. I'm not going to be able to support my kids. I'm not going to be able to, I'm just speaking of some of mine, but you've got your own. Feel them. Feel them. Right down into your pelvis. Feel them. And you're going to be surprised. You're going to get to be free. This is a time of the toothbrush or the toothpaste being squeezed, and you're going to be allowed to be free. And then once you're free, that's how much quicker you climb up the ladder once that heaviness is gone. So, thank you for all the love and thumbs up there, Jennifer. I'm wishing you a good day. Hopefully you're using this time to find yourself. Go deep. If anything's bothering you or any past experiences are bothering you, go look at them, because they still got hooks into you. Once you can't feel them anymore, the hooks are gone and magic happens. That's my belief, and you can see me getting happier every day and more positive, because I'm letting all the gremlins percolate out. Because they didn't belong to me anyways. I just held on to them because I thought I did. I needed them. So, love you all. I see Linda just joined. I'm just signing off, but thank you for listening. It's a good video. Go back to the beginning if you didn't catch the beginning. There's a lot of stuff shared here. So, I love you all. Have a great afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you again. See you soon. Bye.